Well, hey there. Welcome to Business Beat. I'm Sanford Cohen, past chair of the Prescott Chamber of Commerce.
And I'm Sheri Heiney, President and CEO.
And we're here to get you up to date on what's going on with the Prescott Chamber and what's going on in your community. And then we're also going to have a very special guest, our new board chair for 2018, Margo Christensen, will be joining us here in the studio. And be sure you pay very close attention because Margo has some really awesome tips about how you can either save money or guarantee the kind of room you want when you book a hotel. So, I mean, to me, that's worth the price of admission.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So, anyway, so we're still kind of, reeling in the aftermath of the big, chamber mixer that we did over at the Prescott Valley Event Center.
Yes.
Northern Arizona Suns basketball, I can't get enough of it. I think in a lot of ways these guys are every bit as talented as the NBA players, but they're working that much harder because they really, really, really want a job.
Absolutely. I mean, and it's such a great venue, and it's wonderful that we have that right here locally.
Yeah, so we were able to kind of all get together and partner with the other chambers and kind of do one big happy networking thing, which was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah. And, also our annual event took place, the lunch over at the Prescott Resort. Compliments to you and your staff for coordinating that event. Laura and everybody just did a wonderful job.
Well, and the board, and ambassadors, everyone was just a big team effort.
And, Margo, getting up on the podium.
Yes.
Talking, it just like, she'll always talk about how nervous she is, but yet when the lights go on, she's like right there,
she's a
ready
pro.
to go.
Yeah. And I have to do a shout out to the Prescott Media Center because they put together a fantastic video.
They did indeed.
Just to kind of review the 2017 year, which we're still celebrating.
We are. This was a great year of transition for the Prescott Chamber, as I mentioned in my farewell remarks at the event. If you look at the last three CEOs that we had at the Prescott Chamber, Dave Maurer and David Summer and Mary Baker, the three of them represent over 40 years in this job. So this is not a job that we replace very often. And thankfully, we found Sheri via a nationwide search, and now we can look back on the first year and say, well, a lot of the really dirty work has been done.
Yes.
And things are now poised for a really superb 2018. And a little bit later on, we're going to go over our ambitious plan of action for 2018.
Yeah. It's wonderful to have that first year done.
I bet it is. That's a big relief.
What a big relief. And it was fantastic all the way through, too. I mean, everybody was wonderful. The community was so welcoming. But now it's time to roll up our sleeves and get some real work done.
Well, and we've added some new board members to our group. Joe Howard, the superintendent of schools in Prescott, has joined us, along with Jamal McCoy, one of our presenting sponsors, representing the Findlay Automotive Group, and Rodney Jenkins from Yavapai College. So I think we really have added quite a bit of experience to the board, and with Margo taking over as chair,
Absolutely.
I think we're poised to really expand and build on the great beginning that we had in 2017.
Absolutely, and we also have David Hernandez from Freeport McMoran on our board too.
Nice.
So, and that's going to be and they're another lead partner, and we've really been developing that partnership as well. So.
Yeah, it was funny when at the annual meeting, when we talked about, wishing everybody a great year and, in the community, and Baghdad.
Yes.
Don't forget Baghdad.
Yeah.
And talk a little bit about that program, because that really was kind of a unique out-of-the-box way of thinking.
It is. The partnership there, how it works is that they have businesses there, about 53 businesses. So we sort of adopted those businesses. They're all chamber members now. We identify them as the Baghdad Business Coalition. And so we actually bring programming
the
to
BBC.
That's right. There you go. But so what's great is that we're bringing business or services to them in Baghdad. But what's really unique is that they all come to Prescott for some of the big ticket items. So this relationship's going to continue to grow. We have meetings with them coming up, and we're also working on shuttle service back and forth.
Nice.
So, you know, they already have strong partnerships with the hospital and the college, and now the chamber as well.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
and
great.
they even have their own page here in our new magazine.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, so 2018, we put this out. So we have the whole Baghdad Business Coalition
Nice.
right there. So they're represented, and it's a short trip and a great day trip too. There's a lot of things to do there, to be honest with you.
Well, I have a particular fondness for the Baghdad Diner.
Oh, yes.
Because the Baghdad Diner has a unique rule, and that is if you only want a single hamburger patty, you have to order it. Otherwise, you get two.
And it's huge.
I like this. Good ideas. Well, you know, those miners work hard. They need some really
Absolutely.
good, you know, strong food to,
Yes.
you know, finish things off. But
Yeah.
the other publication that we've come out with in 2017 is the Prescott Chamber Connection. And talk a little bit about the idea behind that.
Yeah, well, we started this last year. We didn't actually have it launched until March because I just started in January. It takes time to put these together. But this piece is designed to have everything about the chamber inside of it. So we talk about the board, our mission, our vision, our strategies, our full year calendar. So I call it the no excuse. Everything's here. And then it just talks more in detail about what's going on and what the networking events are. It explains everything in great detail.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Well, and another thing I wanted to ask you about is, you know, we're obviously we celebrated another great Christmas season.
Mm-hmm.
We had the courthouse lighting, which
Yeah.
went off wonderfully. What have you heard in response after the fact to the courthouse lighting, how things went, and was there any way to measure the economic impact of the courthouse lighting on the city?
Thank you. We're still working on those numbers. However, we know the weather was perfect.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it was a beautiful day. And from the parade, which started at 1 o'clock up until the courthouse lighting, we had record numbers. For the parade portion, we had over 10,000, and we're estimating between 12 and 15,000 for the courthouse lighting. And what I do know, what I've heard from our merchants downtown and all over, is that that's their number one sales day in Prescott. So people come here for these celebrations, and they stay here all day, and they shop, and they eat, and they do all those shop Prescott Start Here items. Yes. So, you know, the show went off fantastic, and it was a great time.
Now, in 2017, down in Phoenix at a tourism event, Prescott's Christmas lighting received some kind of official recognition, more so than just being named the official Christmas city, which Governor Rose Mofford did years ago. Talk about that, because it was singled out as like one of the top attractions in the entire state.
Yeah, and that is from, you know, celebrating Christmas. That's what that was all about. So we were recognized on a state level for being the Arizona's Christmas city.
Nice.
And so, I mean, those are fantastic ways for us to get the word out and just really put Prescott on the map.
I mean, I never get tired of hearing about some magazine or some
I
poll
know.
or something that always seems to put Prescott on the map in terms of it being one of, if not the best place to live.
Absolutely.
And I thought that at the annual meeting
Yeah.
that Mayor Mangarelli really focused on of why so many people put Prescott so high up in their thoughts in terms of places to live and places to visit. You know, it really is a uniquely situated community. We are experiencing, of course, the kind of growth that you would think would happen in the Southwest, but then you start, you know, juggling those elements between 120 degrees down in the desert versus
Oh, yeah.
85, and little tiny bit of snow, not a whole lot. So it really does. We've not only been recognized nationwide for a great tourism place, but also as a great place to live. So congratulations to all of you who have chosen Prescott to be your home.
Well, and I can tell you from firsthand experience living here for a year, this is home for us. Moving here from Michigan, I mean, you can't beat Prescott. We have perfect weather, great hiking, just a fantastic quality of life, and we just love it.
Well, we are, Terry and I are 32 years and counting, so stay tuned. We've got more Business Beat coming up. Margo Christensen from Ponderosa Hotels, our incoming chair, is going to be incoming to Business Beat in just a moment. Well, we're back on the beat here on Business Beat, and so joining us is the new chairperson for the Prescott Chamber of Commerce for 2018, Margo Christensen. Welcome to your very first Business Beat.
Thank you. I'm excited to be
We're
here.
so glad to have you.
Thank you.
Now, we know, of course, that you have a deep and abiding interest in tourism, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But Margo is involved with Ponderosa Hotels. They own and operate a number of hotels here in northern Arizona. What's business been like for the hotel industry? Because Prescott, gets talked about so much about what a great place it is to visit. So I would imagine that the hotels have benefited greatly from that.
Greatly, yeah. This has been a great year. Last year, 2017, especially for Prescott. We also have hotels in Flagstaff, and actually Flagstaff's economy is down. Our economy is up, and it's been really a fantastic couple of years for the Prescott area.
I was, looking at some of your websites, and I thought to myself, as a consumer, there's so many of these travel sites like, Expedia and Trivago and these things that, and so I thought to myself, well, which is better for a consumer as far as booking a hotel? Was it better if they know they like your place or they like the particular brand you represent, they should just contact you directly? Or do you prefer to have these other third-party things like eliminate the hassle of booking guests?
Well, from a consumer perspective, there's two different ways to go. If they're looking for a discount and they're looking for the cheapest room they can get, sometimes going to those third-party sites will have those discounts and specials available. However, you're not necessarily guaranteed a room type. You don't get your rewards points for that particular chain. And if the hotel is oversold, you'll be the first one walked to another hotel. And so there's some downside and some risk to it. If you're willing to take those risks, then go ahead and use the third-party sites. But booking the hotel direct, you're not going to get walked. You're going to get your rewards points. You're going to get your room type. So it kind of depends on the kind of traveler you are.
Well, the one thing too about the hotels that you operate here in Prescott, the Spring Hill Suites, the Residence Inn, and the Quality Inn and Suites, that you're not only a hotel, but you also serve food, and you almost have to be kind of like a mini restaurant too. So
free food too. We always have to serve everything for free. Yeah, so it's expensive, and then you get the local residents that come in and have breakfast too. And you have to kind of watch out for that. Yeah, it's interesting dynamic.
Now, how many people do you employ with the hotels here in Prescott?
We have about 60, kind of depends on the season, part-time and full-time both. Our management company is located here, and we've got about 10 people that work for our management company. But between housekeepers and front desk and night audit and general managers, it's right about 60 in Prescott.
Well, I mentioned that Margo has a unique interest in tourism. You've been involved in the tourism committee here in Prescott for quite a while.
Yes, a number of years. Actually, I think we're going on about 10 years for the Tourism Advisory Committee. And then I'm also on the executive board for the Arizona Lodging and Tourism Association, which is the state association.
And you're going to be getting Sheri involved in that too, right?
We're going to get very involved in
Yes.
tourism as a chamber and as a staff as well. And you're not just part of the committee, you're actually chairing the committee this year, so we got to bring that up.
That's important
Chairing
to know.
the chamber and chairing the tourism committee here in
Thank
Prescott
you.
as
Yeah.
well. well.
Yeah.
And we were kicking it off to a great start. We had a
Absolutely.
presentation from Buxton last month in January, and that went well. Maybe you want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, Buxton is a company based in Texas, and the city of Prescott contracted with them about a year ago for some really great data on visitor spending in the Prescott area. So now we have the knowledge and we know how much people are spending and where they're coming from. We know they're coming from Los Angeles, Phoenix. We know what percentage of visitors are coming from those locations. It's really robust data to have.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
that really helps us with our marketing and strategic
yeah.
planning in regards
And
to
economic development.
Yeah.
It goes hand in hand, yeah.
Well, one of the other things you've been really involved in is the Sister City project with Prescott. And you've actually gone to Zeitz,
Germany, yeah.
and had the Zeitz people here. I remember going to an event in the backyard over at your house, and you were hosting all the folks from Zeitz. Talk about how that got started and how Prescott benefits from the Sister City program with Zeitz.
So it got started about 7 years ago. We received a letter from the mayor of Zeitz, and our mayor at that time, Marlon Kirkendall, received the letter that they wanted to become Sister City partners with us. So a group of volunteers got together. Fast forward a couple of years, we put it all together. There's partnership agreements that have to be signed by both parties. Both cities need to be on board with it. And then from there, about 5 years ago, we started a student exchange program. It's been very successful. In the last 4 years, we've sent about 50 kids back and forth between the two cities for this exchange program. So this last fall, Prescott High School and Trinity Christian School joined the program. Bradshaw High had been involved for 4 years. So this last fall, we had 3 Prescott schools as part of the program.
That's such a great experience
So
for the
great.
kids too.
It's, they remember this the rest of their lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's been great. I'm not the chair anymore of that organization. Chris Kuknio took over a couple of years ago, so, but I'm still very involved with it. So yeah, it's been great.
So, do you have any plans or thoughts for your chairmanship for 2018 for the Prescott Chamber? Some of the things maybe you'd like to accomplish?
Yeah, Sheri and I have been talking about that. We want the tourism office and the visitor center and the chamber to be coordinating things a little bit closer together and working together in more of a partnership kind of way. We've talked about some upgrades to the visitor center, of course the flooring, and then maybe some additional training and things like that.
Customer service focus, yeah.
I am all about rebranding. I don't know if that is in this year or not, but I think it's a conversation that we all need to have, and what can we do to rebrand and maybe work on a new tagline and things like that. So those are some things I'd be pretty interested in. And of course, Sheri, getting her up to the state level as far as putting Prescott as a destination more visible with the state, and I think that we're already starting to work on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll be making a lot of sales calls in February and all that fun stuff. So.
In fact, we're all going to be together representing the Prescott Chamber at Chamber Day at the Legislature, which will be coming up on March 1, where we get a chance to actually sit privately, have lunch outside, and get to meet with our legislators and talk about the things that are of interest to our city in terms of getting some assistance or recognition from the state for what an important contribution to the economy tourism makes.
Absolutely. And I want to investigate what kinds of awards are available, state awards, things like that, and see what we can do to put Prescott on the map that way too.
Well, I know that having served a year as the chair, we won't be hiring a new president during your term, so that'll be a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, there's job security for me, I guess.
You are not going anywhere.
But I know that the board is, we've added some new board members that are going to provide some additional input into what we do, and I know that your year that you serve in 2018 is going to be a very successul one. And what better way to kick it off than with an appearance on Business Beat?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Okay, great.
Well, again, it's Ponderosa Hotels, Spring Hill Suites, Residence Inn by Marriott and Quality Inn and Suites here in Prescott. And congratulations on your chairmanship.
Thank
and
you.
I wish you great success for 2018.
I've got big shoes to fill. So
They're size 13,
Okay.
but
Okay.
it makes it easier to find shoes in the closeout section. Anyway, so we're going to be back right here on Business Beat, so don't go away. Welcome back to Business Beat. I'm Sanford Cohen along with Sheri Heiney, the president and CEO of the Prescott Chamber. And Sheri, why don't you share with us what's going on?
Absolutely. We've got a lot going on. I want to talk about our Women in Business Luncheon at the Hacienda Inn, and that's February 14th on Valentine's Day.
Aww.
I know. That starts at 11:30, and that event, you got to get your reservation soon because that event will sell out for sure. And we have a wonderful speaker, and it's just a great way to network and get together with women, and gentlemen are invited as well. So make sure that you put that on your calendar. And then our most exciting event, networking event, Coffee Connect. That's our morning event. That starts at 7:30 a.m. and that's going to be at Hotel St. Michael's on February 15th. And what's great about that event is that it's kind of like speed networking. We put 6 people at a table. Each person has 2 minutes to network or tell their story, and then we switch, and they do that 3 times, and nobody can leave without 2 appointments. So that's a really, really good networking event. And we're going to be celebrating our new member breakfast. That's March 9th, and Embry-Riddle hosts that, and that starts at 8 a.m. And we typically have over 100 folks attending that breakfast. What we like to do is bring all the new members in and let them get to know each other and get to know our board and our staff and our ambassadors. So that works out really well. We have our networking at night on March 15th, and that's going to be at the Yavapai Gaming and Prescott Resort, starting at 5 p.m. That should be a fun one.
I would think so.
People look forward to that. And this is one that's really important, so I really want to highlight this. On March 23rd, we're going to have the Prescott Job Fair. Last year, we had over 500 jobs available. And so this is a very important event for the community, for not only our businesses, but for those looking for jobs. So if you need any information on that, just give the chamber or the college a call. That fair goes on from 9 to 2 at the Yavapai College gym. So those are the upcoming events. I do want to highlight a few of our new events that we have going on for the year.
By all means.
If I may, sir. Sorry. But one thing that's pretty exciting, and we did announce this at the annual meeting, is the Prescott Chamber Business Awards ceremony. And we're going to be honoring 15 businesses that from Business of the Year, Women Business of the Year, things like that. And we're taking nominations right now all the way through April. And that event is scheduled for October 11th in the morning. It's a breakfast at 8 a.m. And that's going to be one of those new signature events that everybody loves. And of course, we're working on Bluegrass Festival. We're very excited about that. It'll be our 37th year for that. Mm-hmm. And we're just really working hard to get those details in place.
Very cool. Well, I know that people really engage with the chamber at these events, but the fact is there's a lot of good work that goes on behind the scenes as well. And you guys have staffed up a little bit. You've added some people and granted some people some additional responsibilities. Why don't you talk about that? Because I'm really proud of some of the folks that you have seen fit to promote and give extra responsibilities.
Well, we have a dedicated team, and that's probably the one thing that I really experienced my first year, just connecting with the staff and the ambassadors and all the volunteers. But we because of all of the events, we promoted Laura Warney. She is now our office manager and event coordinator, and doing a great job, as you saw at the annual meeting. And she's responsible for overseeing the events and making sure they run smoothly. Of course, we had Jackie retire. She worked with us for 34 years. Sad face, but we took the opportunity to bring on a new team member, and now we have Bob Culbertson, and he is now our communication and membership coordinator manager, and he is already getting involved with connecting with the members. We're going to be doing an audit with all of our database and making sure that we have all the correct data, and he's going to be leading that, or he already started February 1st. So, Todd Mason is our business development manager. He's done such a great job bringing in new businesses and keeping the connections with our existing members as well. So,
and then, of course, where we would be without Robert Coombs running the visitor center, and Harold Viewig, who handles the finances. A really, really solid staff, and I'm just so proud of the fact that they've done such a great job at transitioning. Because whenever you bring in a new CEO, it takes time for everybody to get to know everybody. And I think, Sheri, the thing you did that I think really helped was to bring all the staff together and create a collaboration where they actually sat and thought about their jobs and thought about where the chamber belonged in the community. And this was really, I think, an eye-opening experience for a lot of them. They really were kind of just doing their jobs day after day and really didn't give a whole lot of thought to, what the greater picture might be. And from doing that, I can definitely see the level of enthusiasm and the tremendous amount of pride of ownership that the staff has in the chamber. It's very noticeable.
It is, and we also have Jill and Scott who handle all the special events, and they're very busy with all the community events as well. And I think what's great is that they have ownership, and it's a feel good for them, and they saw great results in 17, and they have the best experience because they're working with it day by day.
And of course, without our volunteers and ambassadors, we wouldn't be able to get half of the things done that we're able to do, and still keep things on budget. So a big shout out to our ambassadors and to all of the chamber volunteers that come in to answer phones and work at events and things like that. We really appreciate your efforts on the behalf of the chamber.
We sure do. It's been a great year for that.
Well, I guess we're almost ready to wrap up this part of Business Beat. I was a little inspired by the Northern Arizona Suns to try and do a slam dunk here in the studio, but the ceiling is just a little too low. So I'm going to have to save that for next time. Maybe we'll go on the road.
Hey, there you go.
Do something like that.
We should try that.
Again, our congratulations and thanks to Margo Christensen, the incoming chair for 2018, for being our guest today here on Business Beat. So for Sheri Heiney, I'm Sanford Cohen, and we'll see you next time on
The Business Beat.